So this morning we are going to be talking about, basically it's the roundup from the Traffic and Conversion Summit 2021. We are going to be going into just a few main points that will make you feel like you were here. Let me just adjust this a little bit. Mike was like, make sure you're framed up. There we go. Now I'm actually scooch over. All right. We feel better? Do we feel better now? Okay. Anyway, so that's what we're going to be going into today. So first things first, I don't know if you know this or not, but you are able to win things. So there is that. The way that you win things, you guys, is you subscribe to my YouTube channel, comment on my YouTube videos, and then also just share the YouTube videos out into social media and either tag myself or my business page in it. Either way, one person every week is going to get a little tappy tap on their shoulder and say, hey, go to the swag shop and pick something out. And that's how it goes. Easy peasy. If you're like, what on earth is the swag shop? Then really you just go to withmartha.com. Up at the very top, go to shop, and you can check it out. So there's that. Let me get out of here. Now I see you guys in the live chat. Good morning, everybody. Keep chatting over there. If you have any comments, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in. At the very end, I'm going to go ahead and put some people up on screen, and we can chat then. So what we're talking about today is, it's like a roundup, right, of the Traffic and Conversion Summit. So the gold nuggets, and I've got 3 of them here, and they're really meaningful gold nuggets from the Traffic and Conversion Summit 2021. We ended it out yesterday, and it was pretty amazing. It was pretty stinking great, you guys. Some reasons that it was great was because it, there were reminders of basics, and then other reasons it was great was it was a confirmation, honestly, for me, and seeing that, like, what everybody is scurrying to get to is what I teach in HBR. Like, they're all trying to figure that stuff out, and I'm walking around like, man, I got like gold nuggets in my pockets, y'all. Oh man, that's kind of how it's going. But HBR is it, you guys. I mean, that's the answer. If you're not, let me just say this real quick before I go into this. If you're not in HBR, here's how you join. And then I'm going to go into the content here real quick. The way you join HBR is you go to Livin the Dream with Martha. It's my Facebook business page. Message us the words, let's do this. It's going up to 10K soon. So make sure that you jump in now because it's only $14.97, but you still get all of the goodness. You get the lifetime membership. You get the group coaching for life. You get support for the rest of your flipping life. You know what I'm saying? I told somebody that this, during this event, and they were like, I have never seen that before. And that is a marketer, okay? People that have seen everything. I have never seen that before. And I'm like, I know. I tell people that, but I don't know that they believe me because I don't know that they even know because they don't know. They don't understand what this world is actually like. So anyway, you guys, this is it. This is what I do is I pull the curtain back on how I built my own business. And we make a ridiculous amount of money from home in 5 to 10 hours a week. And we believe that every family on the planet should be doing the same thing. So then you can have your own sense of freedom. You can do what you want to do in this life, right? You shouldn't have to answer to other people. You should be able to do what you want to do. That's how we feel. So, all right, let me go ahead and get this out. Now, the 3 things. Let me see how I want to do this, in what order. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. 3 is the best, okay? So stick around for 3. Number 1, you guys, is community building. They're all good, okay? Obviously, because I only picked 3 points to talk about. But community building, you guys. Everyone is talking about community building. They're talking about doubling down on building relationships with people. And even the ads people are talking about community building. Now they're talking about hacking community building, but they're talking about community building. And they won't be, I'm just, between us, like, you can't hack community building. You care about people or you don't. It's just there's that, right? But anyway, community building is what everybody is doubling down on, and it's 100% a necessity. And if you're like, well, I don't know how I would build a community, Martha, I don't even know how to do that. Well, that is one of the main tenets of HBR, is how to be able to do that, because we teach you how to grow your online business without ads, right? And all these income streams without ads. Well, how do you do that? You do that by building a community and then serving them Well, I can't just tell you to build a community and serve them, because you'll likely trip over your shoelaces a number of times, probably so many times that you'll want to quit, right? You have to know the way to do things in order to move forward, like the proven model of doing things, so you don't just sit and trip over your shoelaces all day and then quit what you're doing, because it will work. It will work. You just have to know what you're doing. So community building is the number one gold nugget. Number two, over deliver. Magic Johnson talked about this yesterday. And first of all, can I just say, I have never heard Magic Johnson talk about business before. And I'm a big fan now. I was sitting in the very front row and I was watching this man just dominate business talks. And it's his perspective and it's his framing on business. So something that he talked about was that there was a long story behind this that was a great story. We just don't have enough time for it. Plus, I'm not Magic Johnson and I'm not going to do it any service, right? So, but he eventually bought into the Starbucks franchise and brought Starbucks into urban areas. There's a whole story behind that, and it's great, and you should look for it and listen to it, because it's about trial, and it's just great. It's great. So he brought a bunch of Starbucks into urban areas. Well, you can't just bring the Starbucks model into urban areas. You can't just let the Starbucks model itself thrive in urban areas, because there's a little bit of like a rubbing against, right? Like a little of a friction culturally. And so what he did was he brought the model in, and then he tweaked the model. So a franchise model, right? He tweaked the model, which isn't typical, but it's what he did because he knew he had to do it, because he was bringing it into a culturally very different place. And so the two things that he tweaked, one of the things was he said, you know, we like coffee. We want to drink coffee. And he's like, but we don't really know what these scones things are. And then he said what they started doing was they were bringing in some, I can't remember what kind of like different desserts and stuff like that they brought in, like I think apple pies and stuff like that. I can't remember exactly, but he brought in different things that culturally would resonate more than scones, because people are like, what are these things, you know? So he changed the model like that a little bit. And then he also changed the music that they play in the Starbucks, right? And the music that they play now is like, you know, Beyonce and Jay-Z and stuff like that, instead of what you would hear at a Starbucks, like anywhere else probably. And so he knew that he could bring that model in, and he knew that the people wanted that model in their communities and they would go to it, but then he even catered the model to them. And you guys, that is one way that he over-delivered. So open your mind about how you can over-deliver to your people, but it's making things so doggone specific and specialized for them as people that is what over-delivering is about, okay? It's about not doing this blanket thing like, I'm bringing in a Starbucks. Cool, let me just plop it here. Now, would it have been successful? Maybe, because it's Starbucks and it was the coffee they wanted and whatever. But is it probably exponentially more successful because he made it for them, right? And that is like the over-delivering. So if you look at HBR, we over-deliver, right? Like I only suggest that because it's my own model and I can see it specifically, right? We over-deliver. I mean, who does group coaching for life? Nobody does. Right? Who constantly updates their platform and their education based on new and emerging tactics and strategies that are working? Nobody does that, right? Everybody does like a sell it and done. But this program is living and breathing, and that is not done anywhere. And so like that is the over deliver, right? Like we always need to be, you can look at any of my programs ever and see the over deliver in there. And so what we're saying here is that over-delivering is what's necessary in this world today. Because even just getting what you paid for is not enough. Write that down. All right, so that was number 2. Number 3, Tolo. I love this. So, I almost cried, all right, whenever they were talking about this, because I was like, oh, yes, man. And it was at the beginning of yesterday, and it was like, the beginning of the 3rd day, and it's the beginning of the day, and I'm like, Martha, don't cry. And so anyway, Tolo, let's talk about this. We know what YOLO is, right? So you only live once. Somebody's jumping off a building and says, YOLO, that's what we think of. And it's fun, right? It's fun. And that's us as business owners and entrepreneurs, we live in the YOLO, right? We live in the, I'm going to go ahead and do this stuff because I only live once. I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to leave it all on the court because I only live once, right? Well, Tolo is a twist, and I love it. You ready for it? Are you guys ready for it? Let me check my time. Ooh, I checked my time at 11:11, you guys. Tolo is they only live once. I mean, right? They only live once. And so when we're thinking about our people, and we're thinking about how we're going to serve them, and how we're going to help them transform, and how we're going to help them get where we are from where they are right now. And whenever you have those days where you're like, man, I'm tired, or nobody's listening to me, I'm really feeling like nobody cares, and why am I even doing this? I challenge you to think about your people and to truly, truly think about the fact that they only live once too. And so you got from where you were to where you are now. And because you got from where you were to where you are now, my belief is that you are now responsible for getting the others where you were to where you are right now. And they only live once, right? So I wanted to challenge you with that today. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about it. And yeah, that's it. Michelle, Caitlin, bam. I love Tolo. Tolo is it, man. Misty, Tolo, yeah. Jessica, top of mind awareness, 100%, always, always. Elle, this is gold. Martha, Starbucks story puts a whole new twist on reaching your people. So helpful. And yes, HBR Beyond over delivers. There it is. If you're not in HBR, what are you waiting for? YOLO and Tolo. It's our job, guys. We can't get lazy and scared about our job. Our job is to help the next person out of the fire. And the question is, you want to do it. When are you going to do it? Tomorrow's promised to no one, guys. I love you. Bye-bye.